But if you find yourself doing the same step over and over again for multiple images, then you might want to take the time to make an action, because it actually doesn't take that much time and you'll save so much time without having to recreate all of those steps over and over. I have another set of free actions for you that you can download from the link below or in the icon in the upper right hand corner, and that's called Black and White Photo Actions. You'll get all of these different types of actions that give your images a unique look, such as sepia, monochrome, or charcoal. Hello, creative! It's your graphics girl of graphicsgirl.com. That's graphics with PH and S, girl with no I and 3 R's. And I'm here with a quick tip to help you design your brand. In this tutorial, I'm showing you how you can create your own actions in Photoshop so you can easily repeat a sequence of steps just with the push of a button. Examples could be if you wanted to make your image black and white, or if you wanted to resize your image to be a certain dimension. I have another set of free actions for you that you can download from the link below or in the icon in the upper right hand corner, and that's called Black and White Photo Actions. Photoshop actions are a sequence of steps that you record in order to repeat them again whenever you select that action in order to apply it to another image. For example, if I came to another photo, such as this one, and I chose my resize action here, when I select it, it will resize it just like this image. So an action is something that you'll want to use over and over again for multiple files. Actions work best when it's something that doesn't require a judgment call for each individual photo, such as if you always wanted to crop your image in the same place versus cropping it based on the image's content. See, with this photo, if I wanted to crop it so that I removed more of the right versus the left, if I selected an action, that action just selected both the left and the right. It cropped it down the middle. So you might want to manually crop out this one. But if you find yourself doing the same step over and over again for multiple images, then you might want to take the time to make an action, because it actually doesn't take that much time and you'll save so much time without having to recreate all of those steps over and over. By the way, I got all the images I'm showing in this tutorial from my go-to stock image resource, iStock. I appreciate iStock's streamlined search functionality that even allows me to upload an image for it to find similar images. So if you've found an image on Google and you're looking for something similar, you can just choose that file and iStock will find something similar. You can also, whenever you search for something, here I searched for yoga, it'll show you all of the images that are in the same series and similar images. You can also search any kind of keyword and it'll find similar images. Hey, you can get free weekly downloads when you join with my affiliate link that I'll leave in the description. By default, Photoshop gives you built-in actions. In my loading actions tutorial, I provided these free cinematic actions that were their own set. So when you launch Photoshop, you'll see that it'll have these default actions. And if you download the actions from my last tutorial, you'll have this set called cinematic actions. But in this video, I have different actions for you to download completely free. And you'll learn how to make your own actions in this video. To begin, open a file in Photoshop. Here, I'll start with this one that I downloaded from iStock. Next, you'll go to Window, Actions to show your Actions panel. As I mentioned before, Photoshop comes with these default actions. I only have this set called Cinematic Actions because I provided these in my other tutorial on loading actions. Similarly, I have another set of free actions for you to make your images black and white. But first, I'm going to show you how you can record your own action to do just that. You can see in my panel here that I have a couple that I've added to the default actions. You won't see these last three, grayscale, resize, and crop, in your set. So I'm going to show you first how you can delete an action. Here, I'm just going to delete these three that I created. I selected that action, and I can just hit or drag it to the trash can at the bottom. Another way to do that would be to come to the hamburger menu or options menu in the upper right hand corner of the actions panel. And from there you could delete. But be careful of what you're clicked on when you choose delete. And you can delete an entire set in the same fashion. You can grab it and drag it right down to the trash. For now, I'll just leave this on here. You can just ignore that, as you'll probably have just your default actions. You don't have to create a set in order to create an action. As you saw in the ones that I deleted, you can save your actions in the default set. Or you can make your own set, like I did here with the cinematic actions. In the past, what I've done is I have made individual sets by coming to the hamburger menu or options menu of the upper right hand corner of the actions panel, and I've created new sets. I've created sets for clients so that I could save some time and make all of their images consistent. But you could just create a brand new action by coming to the options menu and choosing new action. So what I'd like you to do is make sure you're in your default actions. Then from the options menu, you'll choose new action. When you choose new action, it's going to ask you in the new action dialog box to name that action. I highly recommend making it something that's intuitive and tells you what that action does. Here, I'll call this grayscale. When you create a brand new action, you have the ability to add it to that set from the drop-down as well. From here, if I had multiple sets, I could choose which one. You'll probably have just one here called default. Next, you can give it a function key. That would be a keyboard combination that you could choose, such as these function keys, adding in Shift or Command to give it a unique shortcut. You want to make it something unique so that it's not something that automatically gets triggered when you do something like Command C. Lastly, there is a button mode to the actions that I'll show you in this tutorial that allows you to color code your action. This might be apropos to make it gray. So here, I'm not going to assign it a function key. I'm going to put it in my default actions, and I'm going to make it the color of gray. So next, when you hit record, don't worry, it doesn't record the speed at which you make each step. Meaning I could take all the time in the world to make my changes. So here, I'm just going to come up to image, go to mode, and choose grayscale. It's going to say, would you like to discard information to control the conversion? Use image adjustments, black and white. You could choose to say, don't show me this again if you are bothered by that error message. And voila, I've changed this image to a grayscale image. And that's it. At the bottom of the Actions panel now, you'll see that to the left of the red Record button is a Stop button. You've just recorded an action. But let's see this action in action, shall we? I'll come to another image here, and I'll choose to collapse my action with the little spinner to the immediate left of the name. I'll select that action, and then just hit play. You can see that it made this image grayscale. One more, making sure that you're on that action and hitting play. I'll come back to my history panel and go up one. Another way to apply an action would be to come to the hamburger or options menu in the upper right hand corner of the actions panel and go into what's called button mode. When you're in button mode, the actions appear to be clickable buttons. Here you'll see the grayscale action that we made and color-coded with gray. If I click it, automatically it will perform that action. So literally, you could record multiple steps as one action and then just duplicate that to different files with literally the touch of a button. So as you saw when I originally launched Photoshop, I had individual actions for making something grayscale, resizing it, or cropping it. But now I'm going to show you that you can modify an action that you've created to add or delete steps. So to do that, you want to come back out of button mode to return to the step. If you expand the steps, to show all of the steps in any given action you've created. Here, if I wanted to rename this step and call it grayscale and resize, I could add in another step here. And I could also reorder those steps. So here, to rename the step, I could just double click inside that field and add to it. Here, now my name says grayscale and resize. All I would need to do is select that action and hit record at the bottom. When I hit record, it will memorize all of the steps that I take. Here, if I wanted to make this 5 inches instead of 10 and click OK, then I could hit my stop button to end that action. But take a look at this now. In my actions, when I expand it, you can now see that it says convert, which was the grayscale, and then it added the image size. So now, if I came to a new photo and I selected that action, whether in button mode or not, just hitting play, it made it smaller and grayscale. Once again, if I came here, but I happened to have been in button mode, and I clicked on grayscale and resize, it made it grayscale and it resized it down. So you have the ability to add steps, delete steps right in the middle of an action. You could choose that part. You could expand one of these default actions, such as quadrant colors, and you could come right to one of the steps in the middle and reorder them or delete them. Here, let me demonstrate this default action called quadrant colors. I'm just going to click on it and then select play. And when I look at my history panel here, you can see all of the steps. The last step that I was at was image size. It performed all of these steps in that one action. They selected with the rectangular marquee, they changed the color balance, and they did that for 4 different areas of this image. And so this action built into Photoshop actually has quite a few steps. And you can get information at every part of that step. So you have the ability to make a brand new action, to save it in your default actions, and you can also modify it by coming back at any time and adding to or deleting it. Let's see here, I'll come to a new photo here, and here's that quadrant colors. They had given it a gold color coding to it. By the way, all of these images that I am showing you in this tutorial came from iStock, my favorite go-to stock resource, not only for premium royalty-free photos, but also vectors and illustrations. Check out iStock for free in the link below. Now that you know how to make an action, and specifically how you can make an action to turn an image into a grayscale image, you might decide that you want to use a different technique to convert images to black and white. In fact, I have another set of free actions for you that you can download from the link below or in the icon in the upper right hand corner, and that's called Black and White Photo Actions. You'll get all of these different types of actions that give your images a unique look, such as sepia, monochrome, or charcoal. I'll demonstrate. That's a very dark black and white. Or check this one out. Ansel, like Ansel Adams. Beautiful. So I'm just going to use my history panel here to go back before all of the steps that you see listed there to now give it a sepia tone. or have my image look monochromatic. You can get these black and white photo actions from the link below or in the icon right up here. And just like I showed you in my other tutorial of how to load in actions, all you'd have to do is come to the Options menu at the top of the Actions panel and choose Load Actions. Then you just navigate to the black and white actions.atn and open up that file. Then you'll see that set appear in your Actions panel with your default set. And if you'd like to download the cinematic actions that I showed you in my other tutorial, why, check out my other video right up here. So I hope you enjoy these free actions, as that they can really save you so much time and keep your images looking consistent. And I would love to see how your images turn out. You can email me your before and after shots at contact@grrrl.com. And let me know in the comments below which actions you want to record to save yourself some time. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, share it with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel. And don't forget, for free marketing, branding, and design resources, head over to grrrl.com. That's graphics with PH and S, grrrl with no I and 3 R's. And I'm here to help you design your brand.